Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a brand new F1 2019 video. We're here back on F1 2019 for the Austrian Grand Prix once again on our beautiful career with a McLaren, as the car is getting better and better. More races are pretty much every single race is getting more and more exciting. France GP, amazing battles. Canadian GP, amazing battles. I recommend you going back to watch these videos. They were probably they were very fun to watch, and for me personally it was too much fun driving the McLaren around those tracks. But here we are in Austria for the practice sessions, as we always tend to do pretty well on the practice programs, since we put the AI on legendary. But another reminder that probably the AI is going to be going up to ultimate very soon, probably at the second half of the season or next season, by the time I get comfortable enough on the game. But we haven't done any upgrades before Austria, so after this one, after those practice sessions, we're going to be upgrading plenty of things on the car. And as you can see so far, we've been doing very well. Track optimization test was very easy. On the tire management test, did quite well once again.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
And pretty much we just kept on going, went into the fuel management test. And we were doing very well, to say the least. I actually did quite a lot of practice here in Austria. I did plenty of laps on the time trial, and I got used to the track, and that helped me out improving my pace and the braking zones, everything. I suggest you, like, before you go onto a track, do a few laps on the time trial, will help you a lot. And that's what I do pretty much in order to be on form in each and every track. And if a track is a little bit tougher than the others and you need a little bit more practice, just do more laps on the time trial and everything's going to be fine. We ran a little bit wide through the final corner, but still on the ERS management test we're going to be getting another purple result. So that's a perfect first practice session for us, with 4 out of 4 already into practice 1. Then we moved on to practice 2, where I actually had the qualifying pace test, which was quite okay. It was so and so. It wasn't as easy as the previous test. It just needed a little bit more speed. I need to be a little bit more brave on the brakes, a little bit more of everything pretty much. And onto our first try, through that final sector, I gained quite a lot of time. I ran a little bit wide once again. In real F1, that lap would not be counted, but still, we get a green result on this test with a purple final sector, and unfortunately we couldn't do any better than that. Although on the race strategy test things were a little bit easier, as they tend to be on this test, since it's all about consistency and having a moderate lap time. And we did very well on this test, having a very good result. Once again, you know, we would get the purple result here. And as you can see, second lap, completing pretty much the test. And after that, we would just go on to have another optimal lap, and get the purple result once again. So it is a 5 out of 6 purple results in this practice, in the practice days of Austria. We did very well, to say the least, apart from the qualifying pace test, where we sort of we need to improve on the first and second sector, because the third sector we seem to be very fast. As you can see, getting 5 out of 5 laps with a very good pace here in Austria. We seem to have very good pace here in Austria. But that was pretty much the end of the practice sessions. We did very well. We got plenty of resource points, and I want to see how many we've got as an overall. As you can see, still gaining, and we're gonna be having a 1.7k total of resource points, which is very good to hear, because now we're going to be upgrading the reshaped combustion or the ERS cooling. We're going to be doing the ERS cooling on the engine. It's a pretty good upgrade. It's what the engineer recommended. We're also going to be doing the durability, because it's high time we upgraded the durability for once. And later on, the final upgrade for today is going to be the rear floor under tray on the chassis upgrade, which we need to improve in order to get ahead of Renault once again. So these were pretty much the upgrades I wanted to do, and that's all we had to do for the time being. We were pretty much ready for qualifying. So without further ado, let's get into qualifying and see how well we can do.
Thank you for joining us once again for today's qualifying session. Sit back, relax, and enjoy what we hope will be a fantastic contest for pole position.
Oh good lord, it had to be flipping rain. Well, that started well, but here we are on the Austrian qualifying, and it's raining. And traditionally, as you already know, I'm not very good at rain on this game. 2.4 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton on pole, and the wet tires are just not my thing. As you can see, 2.2 now, but I'm still behind Robert Kubica, and things are starting to look pretty bad. And now that we are on the inters, as you can see, we seem to be a lot faster on the intermediate tires, which is obvious since the conditions are better. Around the final corner, final sector, plenty of oversteer. Final corner, straight up to the throttle, and it's going to be a 1:15.9 up into second position. So I thought at that point that we were actually having a very good pace, and I went out for another lap on the inters since the conditions were getting better and better, and I did once again a fastest second sector, and onto the final corner we went. We're going to be only 38 thousandths of a second behind Valtteri, so I thought we were pretty good.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And apparently we weren't. We weren't, because we were down into 15s with 2 minutes to go on Q1. So on to my final turn here. This is our final lap on Q1. And apparently we made it. We're into 11th position, and we made it through to Q2, and that was the most stressful Q1 I've had in my entire life. I don't know how many laps did we do on Q1. It's not normal to do so many laps on Q1. Let me tell you that. And look at this. We were below Kimi Raikkonen. If we wouldn't have done that lap, we would have been out of Q2. We wouldn't go through the Q2. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Either way, on to Q2. I went out for a lap on the soft tires. Didn't really want to push as much. We just did one lap. Didn't want to push the tires too much, and we ended up on 5th. Once again, let's mention that both me and Lando Norris are through to Q3. Once again, the McLaren showing off that we have probably the best car in the midfield at the moment. And imagine, probably by next season, if we are the best midfield team at the moment, we could fight for the championship next season if we have more upgrades onto the car. Our first lap on Q3 at 1.5.6, putting us on 3rd position. Very good to see, very nice to see that we're ahead of the Ferraris. Another lap here. Once again, we're going to be setting in 1.5.5. And we were actually on 2nd position, and once again, I went out for another lap. And as you can see, fastest first sector. And reminding you that our best sector is actually the 3rd one. We could be in for a pole position here, thinking that, okay, if the first sector is faster, then why not have another one on the 3rd and be on pole? As you can see, through the 2nd sector, once again, going purple onto the 2nd sector. This seems to be an amazing lap so far. And onto the 3rd sector, which seems to be my finest. Could we actually get pole here in Austria out of nowhere? A very good couple of corners here onto the final sector, and onto the finish line. It's going to be pole position. Provisional pole position here in Austria. With 2 minutes to go, I think, yeah, the checker flag's down. Probably we're not going to get beaten, and it is pole position here in Austria. What an amazing qualifying session. From almost not going through to Q2 to actually getting pole position. Lando Norris on 7th. Oh my god, that was
performance
crazy.
out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race?
What a qualifying session, pole position. I'm hoping I can get the win. It would be amazing to get another win after Monaco on a track where we don't really have a good car.
The weather hasn't been ideal in qualifying. What's your take on it?
It hasn't been ideal, but even if it's gonna rain onto the race, I still have high hopes for it. Let's get into the race.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Now, can I talk to you about Sebastian Vettel? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair.
Alright, we'll remember that, Jeff, but it's impossible to even believe that we got pole position. Pole position on its own is an achievement that I wasn't expecting for myself to actually achieve here in Austria. Austria is an easy circuit, full of straights, but some pretty tough corners. But still, getting pole position in a track where, you know, the power unit is not is probably the weakest unit of a car, and we get pole position here.
Technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down.
I don't want to imagine how well we can do on tracks like Singapore or Japan, where downforce plays a bigger role there. But either way, we're on pole here in Austria, lining up now on the grid, ready for the start.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
I am patient. Let's hope we're going to have a good start here in Austria, because traditionally we can't get off very well off the line. But here we are, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. We get off to a pretty decent start, but the Mercedes, both Hamilton and Bottas are besides me. I go in between them and maintain the lead, but I have, oh my god, what was that? What was that here? I lost the back end completely, and Hamilton just goes past me, and Bottas now is going to try and go up the inside into this corner, probably a dive from here. I see my teammate going up the inside of Valtteri Bottas. He's up into P4. Very good start from Lando Norris. And on lap number 2, I think Hamilton has a broken end plate on his front wing, because he made contact with me at the start, even though it wasn't my fault. I go down to neutral there. A pretty bad mistake, but still not going to cost me any time at all. Thank God we didn't break the engine there. If that was a factor, the engine would be broken, most likely. But still, we regain the lead now from Hamilton, who seems to losing some pace due to his front end plate, and we now need to watch out and control our pace. On lap number 2, as you can see, Bottas has made a move on Hamilton. We ran wide into the final corner. The pressure is real from Bottas. Bottas now goes up the inside. He sets the fastest lap at the same time. He goes up my inside into turn number 1. Can we maintain it around the outside? Stay onto first position. That's a battle and a half here with Valtteri Bottas, who will try and maintain his position from Hamilton, who regains second position. Lewis Hamilton is back at it now. Second position. We ran wide into this corner. There seems to be a lot of pressure for the Mercedes. I can't really control the pressure at the moment. They have much faster engines. They are much faster through the straight, so they're going to be very easy. We're going to be a very easy target to be overtaken. Hamilton locks up his front left tire, and he's still on my inside. We go side by side with Lewis Hamilton. This is an incredible battle between me and the British champion, and we go up the inside into this corner. That's a move probably completed. We're still on first position, but we're actually wearing out our tires very fast with those battles, which is not very ideal. On lap number 5, as you can see, we have gained quite a lot of gap. We've opened up a gap, and as you can see on the top left corner, I just realized there's a please wait thing there, which I'm not really sure why it is there, but still, I don't really care about it. On lap number 9, Bottas is trying to go up my inside. It's not very easy here for him to overtake, but he seems to have better pace than me due to the tires. My tires are starting to fall off a cliff, and Bottas now goes around the outside. We're still on the inside line, so we're probably going to be maintaining our position. Can Bottas go for the switchback move? Not possible onto this corner, and now onto the back straight. I think we have a pretty safe gap, and it's not going to be easy for him to overtake me. Now onto the main straight again. He's going around the outside. This time it seems like he's going to be able to complete the move, and I can't really do anything. I can't really dive down there. He has better pace than me. He is faster than me.
Try to keep focus.
He is faster than me. His tires are in a much better condition. I don't know how, but he somehow made it. And look at this. Bottas has opened up a huge gap from me, and that's due to his tires. He kept his tires on better conditions. Verstappen, actually Hamilton goes up my inside here. What a great maneuver there from Hamilton, trying to complete a double move here.
D for a new strategy option.
It's a new strategy option, as you can see. And actually, what Jeff told me is to go in 2 laps earlier for a set of hards. I ignored that. I didn't want to put on the hards, knowing that they are much slower than the mediums. And if I actually wanted to have a chance to win this race, Hamilton goes up my inside. This is actually crazy. How is this happening? Hamilton made the move stick. I'm going into the pit stops on this lap, but I'm not going for a set of hards. I want to put on a set of mediums and try. Verstappen goes up my inside. I actually want to go to the pit stops. He doesn't let me go into the pit stop. We make some contact. Very awkward contact here with Max Verstappen, because I actually tried to go into the pit stops. I wasn't fighting him. We go into the pit stops now for the undercut on Valtteri Bottas. Trying to maintain second position was impossible on those tires. The soft tires once again compromising my pace. I can't control the wear on the soft tires this season. I don't know if it's the car or it's my driving style, but at that point I just can't control the wear on the soft tires. That's why I've said on the previous episode that the medium tires are my favorite tire compound. And now we're down into 18th position. There's a huge train of cars to overtake, but the main thing is push now as much as I can, trying to reduce the gap from Bottas. And when he actually enters the pit stops, he's going to be close to me. That's the target pretty much now. There's nothing else to do. Probably maintain second position, which is 99% going to happen. But the main thing now is to close the gap from Bottas, because he's still out on track on a set of soft tires. So he is on a much tougher situation than I am at the moment. We go for a double move on both the Renaults, overtaking Ricciardo, overtaking Hülkenberg now. Around the outside we go. An incredible move. Complete. And as I can see, you only see that on F1 2019. Russell overtaking Gasly. Well, that's a first. There's a first for everything. Williams overtaking the Red Bull. We go up the inside of Gasly. He tries to go for a move on Russell. I'm going up the inside of both of them into the penultimate corner. What a great move there that was on the penultimate corner. Up into P12 we are. As you can see there, we set the fastest lap and we go up the inside of Alexander Albon here. A very good move indeed. Very aggressive. Albon is going to try and get back ahead of me. Can he actually hold it onto the inside line? Not very possible there, as Raikkonen jumps into the pit stop. And my teammate is also into the pit stops. We haven't seen Lando in a while. I don't know where he's actually standing right now. I can see a Ferrari of Leclerc, and there is Bottas ahead of me, and the gap, unfortunately, I don't know how did Bottas do that, but his pace on the soft tires was very good for a long time. I don't know how he kept on holding that set of soft tires for so long and not having any wear at all, because his pace was like not having wear. On lap 20, we were on second, Bottas was first, Leclerc was third, Verstappen was fourth, Vettel was fifth, and my teammate was on sixth, trying to stay ahead of Force India and Lewis Hamilton. But at the same time, I had a huge issue. I was pushing as hard as I can. You can see my fuel mix on the negatives there. I was pushing as much as I can. I was playing with the ERS deployment a lot, trying to gain as much time as I can. And you have to admit, I actually did my best. I had one of my best drives. The gap was getting down on 2.1 seconds out of nowhere. I was pushing like crazy. Look at that, 1.6 gap from Bottas. You cannot understand the pressure that I was feeling. It was probably the best experience I had on F1 2019. The fact that I was pushing so hard throughout the whole race made me understand that the medium tires, first of all, are the best tire compound. I was pushing those tires for so long, and there was no wear whatsoever. Whereas on the soft tires, I was pushing for 5 laps, and then they were gone. They were absolutely gone. Unfortunately for us, we did the best we could, but it just wasn't enough to overtake Bottas. We were so close to it, as Russell has retired. Very unlucky there for Russell, after having his best qualifying of this season, retiring on the final lap. So it was a very, very nice race. It was a nice race. We lost it out on the strategy. Starting on the softs wasn't a good idea. Bottas, okay.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
It's a fantastic drive. It's another podium, but we have to admit, Bottas did much better on this race.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
We have to admit the Mercedes was faster. Bottas was actually I'm gonna say it, Bottas had one of the best drives so far this season. So it was like Bottas, the pace on the softs is what pretty much won him the race. I had a very good pace on the mediums. I was faster than him on the mediums, but still he was faster than me on the softs. He actually opened up a huge gap on the first stint, which made it impossible for me to catch up. A very good race for Lando. Still, he didn't get any positions, unfortunately. He actually lost out on position, but still best of the rest for Lando Norris in terms of the midfield. Now it's time for the interviews.
Lucas blew through the pack in that race. What's his secret?
Gonna be honest, I didn't see what Lucas did, and I wouldn't care less about Lucas on the race, where I actually lost out pretty badly.
Would you say that your rival is still on your level?
Nope. We gotta be honest, no. It's not him, it's the car not being better.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
Yeah, it's been a few very, very good races after Monaco, and on, we've been doing very well.
It was more like Dodgems than Formula 1 today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, to be honest, about that statement. Yeah, those were just friendly nudges. I don't know why my McLaren rep is getting decreased when I'm a little bit sarcastic. Don't you want a little bit of sarcasm, McLaren? You know, you got the meme boy, Lando Norris. But, you know, don't want a little bit of banter from me too. I think we won our rivalry from Antonio Giovinazzi. So now we're also the first driver, so we get a bonus resource points. Reputation is increased from all the teams. As you can see, driver standings, I haven't shown yet in a while. We are best of the rest in terms of the midfield. We are in 7th position with 63 points. We're actually pretty close to Red Bulls, you know, if we actually improve the car a little bit more and kept keep on having the same results, we could be in for a top 5 finish in this championship. You never know. A very good race, to say the least. It was pretty pucked up, you know, when we actually had to overtake some of the back cars, like the backfield cars. We did very well to get out of traffic as fast as possible, but sometimes like that we can't win everything. Bottas was much faster this time around. The first stint is what we need to work on, so the tires that we use on Q2, we need to see how we can actually have good pace on the first stint of the race and actually maintain a good pace at the same time and not have any wear at all. But yeah, that was it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And until the next video, guys, which is probably going to be WRC 8, I'm going to catch you later. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big moment we've all been waiting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, place your turntable in front of your guests.
Set the volume